Okay.
Okay, the last item then is the employee contract negotiation that I asked Jim to put into the packet. You. Sorry about that. Did everybody have a chance to look that over?
Yeah. Yeah.
Questions?
Yeah. Paul, this is Gary. I have something that I wanted to bring up. I think it's rather of importance. I'll ask this initially to you. From a point of order standpoint, couple thoughts. From a point of order standpoint, this is different. Many operations we've had in the authority in the past. And there was a document in our packet here on a labor document, but it doesn't seem to be presented here by the Labor Negotiations Committee. It seemed to have come somehow in this packet. So who drafted this? Where did it come from? And then secondly, Bruce, from a point of order standpoint, I'd be interested with you, Solicitor, how does this have a document on the that didn't come from the Labor Relations Committee? So, Paul.
Well, I don't know that there's.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You finished?
Yes.
Okay. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, you know, I saw the document, and I can tell you right now, if it's being proposed, it's up to you guys to decide whether or not you're going to vote for it or not vote for it. I know Paul's been going back. I believe he's gone back and forth with the union, and I think this is the culmination of those discussions back and forth. That's what I understand.
So I'll help there. So really what's in this document is, first of all, let me preface this by saying this negotiation has been going on for well over a year now. And there's the board as a whole hasn't really been updated, didn't know what was going on. Everything in this is, I didn't go back and forth with the union personally. This was stuff that was just on the table. Everything that we discussed, I listened and I took notes. We need to make some kind of movement here. Something has to happen. We can't just keep sitting on this and not making a move. So what I did is I had this put together based on the information that I gathered from the table, and I wanted to bring it to the board so we could discuss it and possibly put it up for a vote. That's how this came about.
Okay, so Paul, this came from you?
Yeah.
You drafted this document?
No, I helped them with it.
But, yeah. I didn't type it.
So Bruce, you worked with Paul that this document was drafted.
That's correct.
Okay. Anybody else?
If you had asked, just so you know, if you had asked me to draft something, Gary, I would have done it too.
Well, I guess I'm trying to understand why, and believe me, I'm going to start being quiet here because I think some members from the Labor Negotiations Committee need to say something. I just find it interesting that we're looking at a document that wasn't presented by that committee.
Noted.
Okay, I'd like to make a couple statements on this. I don't think we can afford 3.25, 3.50, 3.50, 3.50 when the national average is under 2%. I don't understand where we're coming up with these figures. And to make it retroactive back to 4/1/19 is huge. I don't think we can afford it. I think we should probably table this until we see where the government's going to go, how much money we're going to lose. I would actually make a motion to table till September.
I'd like to say something. Paul, may I say something?
Yeah, free talk.
Let's see. Okay, you're talking about this increase in pay, but Paul's also put in that they can start paying now for their health care more, and then new hirees pay 12%, and he saved on what is a really good thing, is he saves on, like when you turn 65, you can either get your health care for 2 years or take the buyout. That's a really, really, really good thing. That really is. So we might be paying more, but they're paying into their health care that we don't have to pay all that for health care. Are you understanding me?
Yeah.
Betsy, they were already paying into their health care.
How much?
Okay? 9%,
Huh?
right? 9%.
Okay, and then it's going to go up.
So it goes up gradually. I agree, but I'm just saying it's not that we're going from 0 to 10% or 9, 10, 11%. Okay, so it's really minuscule on the healthcare side.
Oh, I understand what you're saying, but do they go up every year, paying more for their health care now?
No, it had been 9%. It was going to go, and it would go up to 11, 12%, right? 12%.
And then it would be 12% across the, and that's saving money.
It'll take you 30 years to see the savings.
That's not true. It absolutely does not.
What we get, our company pays for health care, and what we pay, it's an awful lot of money the company has to pay. And I know the water authority has good benefits, and they're not cheap.
Right. See, the other thing you need to look at too when it comes to the healthcare part and the pension part is, this year you have 7 utility workers and 1 cleric all in the same union that are eligible to retire. 2020 you've got 2 more. In 2021 you have another one, and then 2023 you have 1 more. So you have 8, 9, 10, 11 people in the union that are eligible to retire. Now, if those people do in fact retire, and you bring in people to replace them, that's 3/4 of the current staff that just turned over that will all be at new higher rate. The full 12% healthcare. And not contributing, that's not having to contribute to the pension for them because it would be a 257B.
And that's for 5 years too, right?
Right.
4.
Instead of the 3 years?
Oh yeah, they don't get a max salary for 5 years.
5 years.
Whereas right now they get max salary in 3 years.
Right.
Well, you know, I've looked at the information here, and honestly, I think this has been sitting too long. It hasn't gotten anywhere, and I think it's a fair contract for all parties involved. So I would like to make a motion to approve this.
I second it.
All in favor?
I have a couple more questions before we vote, please.
Oh, okay.
Point of order, please. I have a couple more questions, please, before we vote. This is Gary. Can I ask those questions, please?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I agree that we need to make progress on this negotiation contract. And we have been working for over a year that we theoretically had an agreement at one time.
No, you didn't.
In topical areas. Is there too much feedback here that you can't hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, I can.
There's a lot of feedback coming through. I will say that.
Yeah, I can tell the feedback. Here's my point. We had a document at one time that was very close to being approved by the union. And it was rejected. But there was some content in that document that was agreed to, such as the PTO days and how that would be. It's not in this document. What happened to those items that were agreed to between the committee and the union negotiations committee? What happened to those items? I'll take the silence, meaning it's not here.
Well, if you would have waited a second, I had to take my computer off mute. On the 3rd page, Article 3, fringe benefits is PTO.
Is this the same content
Yes.
that we agreed to, that's probably a bad example. But I don't have the other contract in front of me.
Well, one of the items that was agreed was the $250 for the health care. That was agreed by the union about 6 months ago, but I don't see that in there.
What was that, Jimmy? I know we have some issues that were not in here. You have an example.
Well, the $250 for anyone not taking the health insurance was agreed to by the union probably 6 months ago. Is that not correct? To the committee, is that not correct?
No, it's not.
I don't know.
Sure, you're shaking your head. You weren't there.
No, but you know what? I do know what was agreed to, and that wasn't it.
Yeah, what?
I'm pulling my file right now.
Take that for whatever it's worth to you, Dave.
I believe that was agreed to.
That's what I thought.
If that was agreed to 6 months ago, well, I just put in here what I have from my notes.
Let me take another example, if you'll bear with me. The 3.25 and 7.5 increase is a new item that was not on an old negotiation. Where did that come from?
What was? Say that. What was?
The rate increases of 3.25 and 3.50, those are new items. Where did they come from? The old negotiation percentages were not that high. Where did they come from?
Yeah, that came from me. That's because the rate negotiation is actually where this was falling flat on its face. We have an opportunity to gain a full two-tier contract, a pension, and increase, and, well, I said the two-tier. The union began at 5%. I think maybe, and we were at 2 and 2.5%. And I'll be honest with you, I took a happy medium. Pretty sure that's a number that they would agree to, that they would be happy with that because we're getting so much back in return. And I know, I can tell you now that Public Works is at 3%.
Not agreed on yet.
No.
What is the Public Works pay rate versus ours? Anybody know that? I don't know if anybody knows that or not.
No, everybody used to.
This is Tom, and I'm just looking at I have the file that goes back to our original discussions when we first met with the union. There's a document that was produced April 17th that was marked as a tentative agreement where those employees who choose not to be covered under the MMA group policy use their spouse's health and use their spouse's insurance shall be entitled to a payment of $250 per month.
Per month?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Because they're going under their spouse's covered.
Well,
And Tom, when you got up, I said that I agree. We agreed to that. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Bruce, I believe that and the funeral leave have been agreed on for months. Is that not correct?
We have
Yeah. And I thought that has the funeral leave changed at all?
No. I didn't see it in this. I think that and the 250 was agreed on months ago.
we have an agreement with the union if we pass this, that they're going to accept it? Has this been given to them to look at?
No.
But you want us to vote on a contract that we don't know if they're going to go through?
Right, they might shoot it down, but I don't think they will.
I have a question. Okay? I don't understand. If you don't take our health care, the municipal health care, that we have to pay you $250 a month?
We don't have to, but a lot of them are doing
I've
that.
never heard of that.
My company does that actually.
Well, I
If I
don't.
use my spouse's instead of theirs, I get a stipend.
The borough, Betsy, the borough does it as well.
so does the school district, Betsy.
It's ridiculous. It saves the company money, because they're not paying for your health care.
That's right. It saves them a lot of money.
It saves a lot of money.
Okay.
And I just wanted to touch
What
on.
about adding that?
Huh?
What about adding it, he said?
Adding what?
I think it's redundant. I think don't add anything.
Okay.
Well,
Just as a point of the percentages. So just so everybody understands, the difference between a 2% and a 3.5% is 40 cents
per hour.
Per hour.
And
Based on,
do you know what the pension obligation to that is?
well, the pension
Future.
obligation is going to start declining. As these people start retiring and we start bringing in the second tier of employees, we won't have a pension obligation with them. And of the 15 utility workers that we have now, before this contract even expires, there's a good chance 11 of them will be retired.
But you're going retroactive plus the 3.5%.
Yep.
So you're talking 7.25%, and the pension obligation on that to them.
I think this is what it's going to take to get the 2-tier.
I really need an explanation on how, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is I was on this committee, and I'm really confused on how this switch from this pension plan to where you're paying them 8% for a 457 is a savings when you're also going to pay. It's a soft close. It is not a hard close. If you go to a hard close where the individuals are locked into the current pension, they stop right there, they earn no more, that's where your savings are. Savings are not in soft closes because your obligations still exist and continue to multiply as the contract goes on. Now, any new employee is not going to be eligible for a pension for 10 years at the earliest, and that would be 25%. 20 years would be 50%, 30 years at max. I really don't see, I wish you could give me some numbers how that's a savings, Paul. You keep saying it's a savings. I need some numbers since I'm on this committee, and I have to budget this.
All right, I can get numbers together.
I think that's important. I think everybody has to know what the numbers are.
This is Gary.
I probably would have numbers if I didn't get stonewalled every time I asked for information.
You
How
never
about let's
asked.
start with that?
You have a contract.
I've got to ask for everything, and then I got to call an accountant, then I got to call the actuary. Let's not pretend.
I'm not pretending anything. I'm just saying, when did you ever call me and ask? Did you ever make a phone call to me and ask?
Well, no, because every time I call
You've never called. You've never called.
Jim.
Let's be honest. You've never called. Never.
Not about this. Not
About
this.
anything. You've never called me about anything.
I've never called you about the pension.
Anything.
You're lying through your teeth right now.
What did you call me for? What did you call me for?
I called you very specifically and asked you about the pension. And the first time we talked, you said, I've never paid a penny more than the MMO. That was while me, you, and Bruce were sitting having a drink. And then the second time I talked to you, you said, well, I pay 2% more because Jim Hunter underfunded it.
No, John Caper. John Caper.
Yeah, John Caper. And I said, why are you paying 20% this year? I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. You never did.
I sent you.
We never got into the
I sent you.
what you said.
I sent you what the board approved at 20%. It was in the November.
Well, according to you, Jim, we never had that conversation.
I sent it to you.
You said we never had a conversation. So what is it? Did we or didn't?
I got confused if you emailed me or texted me.
And we talked on the telephone.
We might have talked once.
All right, so we talked once then.
That's about it. I just think we have a committee, and you're bypassing this committee, and you don't even have numbers for me to understand how I'm going to budget this.
Not real hard.
Which is raise rates.
Could
what you're saying.
I make an amendment? Can I make an amendment to the motion to follow up with Dave McGill made? This is Gary. There seems to be a discussion on the financial impact of what this contract detail has. It seems to have some value for us as a municipal authority for the long term, especially for new hires, but on the short term side, for the existing employees until they retire. With this cost increase, the impact on the pension, we have not been made available the financial impact. Is it possible to delay a vote as a motion for 1 month so we can see the financial impact and vote on this in May? That's my motion.
I'll second.
Don't we have to do something about the original motion and second that come up earlier?
I didn't want to amend it.
Well, you have to vote on the motion to table.
Okay.
If the motion to table passes, then it's off till May. If it fails, then the original motion is back up again to pass.
So what's the motion right now?
Look, I think the motion the motion is to table it until May.
No.
Wasn't the original? What was the motion?
This is a motion to table this till May.
I vote no to table.
No.
No.
All right.
I think we should talk about this, figure this out. We need to figure this out. However, whoever, whatever, needs to come to an end. We got to take this thing head on here because we're continuing to drag this out. You know, there's a lot of things I'd like to talk about. We don't have enough time in the day. You know, if we do have all these employees that are eligible to retire as time continues on, we have to have a plan for that. We're going to continue to have to owe them money no matter how this works out. But you're going to have new hires that you're going to need to bring in eventually here so that they can be brought up to speed to keep up with the other old timers that are going to be close to retiring as well. So you got to come to some resolution. More than 2 cents, maybe it's 3 cents.
Okay, but if we're putting more money into the pension plan, why do we need to do that? There's plenty of money there for this contract to pass. If the pension fund doesn't get more than what is expected of it by law.
Well, there's by law, and then there's adequacy from an actuarial standpoint. Two different things.
Didn't Paul check that out, I believe? Paul?
Say that again. What was the question?
I made the comment, Paul. I was making the comment that there's a difference between having a fully funded pension and having a pension that is funded to the minimum required by law. Okay, and that gap can be big. So there is a difference. So she was talking about the fact that the pension is adequately funded. Depends on what your definition is of adequately funded is. It's not 100% funded, but yes, we have been catching up on what we were underfunding in the past years.
Well, it's my understanding we're overfunded now.
I think we're very well funded right now. As a matter of fact, the state mean is right around 72%. And even with the stock market decline, we're still at 88%, which actually puts us in a very high tier percentage-wise of how we're funded. It's in good shape. I think we're good. I don't think it needs any extra money at this point. And that's where you can recoup money now, put that back into operation.
You did hear me say that it's going to go to $717,000 next year, correct?
Loud and clear.
So Paul, this is Gary. One other question, if you don't mind. I know we've been really talking about this for a while. In order to pick up these costs on the short-term side, especially for the existing employees until they retire. And we don't have the financial numbers yet. So we don't really know the impact to the budget. Do you see an increase possibly this year to help meet our fiscal responsibility?
Rates?
Yeah, rates for water and sewer to our customers.
You know, if they go up a little bit, I'm actually personally I'm okay with that. It's not going to be anything horrendous. And you know, and we've got to get some new hires in here too.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of stuff here that needs to be taken care of.
Right.
And we've got to roll in some new hires because our average age here, I'm 46, and I think there's only 2 guys on the authority younger than me.
Right. Well, my
just can't go run into that without knowing what the cost is going to be.
Yeah.
Because we don't know where we're going to be at in 30 days from now. We got to wait till the country gets back to work to see where we're going to be at.
I just think it's a different world these days with the coronavirus and businesses shut down, and some people, we're 20 million people unemployed in the United States. Some people are living day, let alone paycheck to paycheck. And just be aware of that, where the world is today. And for us to make a decision without having any detail on the financial impact, I believe it's a little premature. But I think I made my point more than enough.
Sure, we've done this for over a year.
Yeah, why didn't it pass a year ago?
Well, they kept on putting it off.
Why?
They'd walk away from the table.
Why? Who walked away from the table?
There's a lot of theories why, but I don't know why.
We never
That's what's
walked
going to happen
away.
right now.
Just so everyone knows, we never walked away. They did. The union.
Several times.
I don't think there's any fault of the board. I don't think there's the board's to blame for walking away from anything. And we all know that and agree on that. You know, the fact of the matter is that there certainly hasn't been any progress. And we know that there's been a lot of struggle with agreements. I was sitting at the table when we talked about this back in April, June, whatever. When you guys had a full agreement.
That's clearly while the conversation's going on, giving them points.
Hey, Bruce.
Turned around and never mind.
Tom, do you have the document that they turned down?
The float?
No, the one that we offered them last contract, and they turned it down. And when we
June
left
21st.
Hang with me here.
just so everyone understands what they turned down.
Well, while he's looking for that, can I ask a question? Hey, Paul.
Yes. Oh, you talking to me or?
Oh, yeah.
While he's looking for that, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm new at this, and you went to the union, and the union turned it down, and blah, blah, blah. Well, why don't we present this to the union and then see what they don't like and go from there?
That's kind of what I want to do.
Okay, well, that's what, I mean, trust me, I have family that runs unions, and present it to them, and then that's where you have your, okay, well, they don't want this, okay, well, let's negotiate this. But until they have a piece of paper in their hand, we don't know.
We did that, Bets. They turned it down the last time.
Tom, could you read off what they turned down? I think it's important the board knows. They say they're not getting information. Could you read off the full float that we gave to them and they turned it down?
I don't know.
Tom?
He's on mute. Maybe he can't hear you.
He probably hears you. He just can't talk.
No.
I said, I'm looking through my file right now.
Okay, well, like I said, while he's looking for that, okay, they turned all that stuff down, so bring them a new contract and see what they don't like on that. Or they might like it. Who knows, unless you show it to them.
All right, well,
I don't know.
here, I'll give you a synopsis of what they turned down. We offered them 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%, 3% retro, 3% every year after. We offered them $77,000, and someone correct me if it's wrong, I don't have it in front of me. 2 years paid health insurance when they retire, their Medicare and their prescription D paid for 2 years, or they didn't want that. They wanted the bonus of $7,000 or $7,200, and I think that's in Paul's float. We offered them that. We offered the same with the funeral leave that's in Paul's float. We did offer, and it was agreed already upon, was the $250 for any individual that doesn't take our insurance.
Okay.
And
What did they like?
we did not have any change in the pension on there. We left the pension as was for all new hirees and everybody in it.
Well,
They didn't like the raise.
as Gary says, this is a different world and we're changing, and yes, we are. It's not going to be like we're going to hand you everything in the kitchen sink anymore. Companies can't afford to do that. What is it?
And this one,
Yeah, look close, Betsy. The one I have says 2.5%, but that's dated June 21st, I think. That's the copy I have.
right,
I'm gonna need another room in my house for all the stuff from the big board meetings.
right, and so that's what this document is. As Jim just said, it was a lot of, everything in here is what we agreed on, except the money was the big one. I think they were at 4 or 4.5%.
They started out, I do have that in front of me, Paul. Okay. Initially, their initial demand was 5,5,5,5,5. Okay. Their last demand was 4, 2.5, 3.5. Okay.
Well, it's different now, so let's try.
So I just put in the happy medium. That's what it was just a happy medium. I think it's a big deal to get a 2-tier started. I think that's huge. You usually can't get a union to do that. And if this goes too much longer, I think we're going to lose all that. And I really didn't want to lose all that.
You're not benefiting that much from the second tier right now, the way the wages are.
Bruce, what would we have done on council to get a 2-tier?
I don't know.
It's really not
Well, I know you give up, you do, we all know that that's significant.
It is very significant. It's all I'm saying.
just so you know, it's not 2-tier. We have a 3-year probation period now. It's an extension by 2 years is what it is. It's not a 2-tier and then they go right to the existing rate. It's really not the design of a 2-tier system. What we're doing is extending the probationary by 2 years. That's not a 2-tier
And at day
system.
one, their contribution to health care to day one starts at 12%.
Correct.
And they won't have a pension.
And they don't.
But we're paying
So
8.
that is a
We're
big
going to pay 8. We're going to pay 8% to them every year.
I was going to say, you have to realize that there won't be a pension, but our contribution is still going to be up to 8% of their wage under the defined contribution plan.
Up to
Right now it's 100%.
Well, it's a pension plan versus a defined contribution plan. They're apples and oranges.
But you're still paying every existing employee. It's a soft freeze. It's not a hard freeze. I thought we took the pension off of the table with them and said we'll just keep paying it. We have guys now that have a 457 and they're borrowing from it, paying penalties. If no one's going to touch the pension for 10 years, or that's at 25%, or 20 years, there's no, you're going to have your minimum obligation, and according to the age requirement, I'm sure half of us might, and me included, might not even be around.
What was that? What was that?
But I think I
can't understand the word, Tom. It's vague.
Okay. What I said is,
Tom, I still can't.
I don't know why.
You sound like you're in the witness protection program.
I shut the video off, so we don't know who you are.
Can't understand.
I haven't had any issues.
Can you hear me?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna shut it up.
All right. No good talk.
That was cool.
Okay.
Should have
That was crazy.
How do I do that?
Oh, well.
Tom, try again. No. Battery might be dying.
No.
Huh?
Sounds like a haunted house.
No, maybe it is. That's better. No. You mean now?
Tom, put it on mute once and come back. Try again. Mute it and then come back.
You're on mute.
How about now?
Yeah. No good. Good.
No. This is on the right laptop.
I'm gonna check his temperature. I'll check his truck number.
I'll say they don't realize outside that.
Tom, you better just mute.
All right. So where are we now?
Yeah, where are we? Scott.
Anybody have more input? Anybody
Are
else?
we voting or what? What are we doing?
I believe you're in the midst of taking a vote, so I don't know where it's at.
The motion was to table this until April, and there was a second.
To May.
So now we're voting.
There was a first and a second.
I think it went to May.
Yeah, May.
It's
May.
April now.
This is Jerry. Just if we had some financial numbers on the impact of this on the short term for the 2020 budget, that would have maybe some value for all the board members. And then secondly, maybe that float that we had late last year that we thought was pretty close with our committee and their committee on the union side, that might be an interesting document to compare the differences.
Shouldn't we be 1% off? If it's, well, I'm sorry, it's 3 1/4, not 350 for the last year. But all right, I gotta take that off. That's gonna be crazy.
Good idea, though, Scott.
You know, you never know what you're taking in online. So if we're basing our numbers on the 3 1/4% for what we've already budgeted for, right? Because we budgeted going retroactive to 2.5%. Does that sound right?
Yes, we budgeted 2.5 retro, and then we budgeted 2.5 this year also.
So there should be somewhere around, quote, 4, 5, 6 grand, something like that. Difference. That sounds close. Might be high. Maybe I'm 4. You know, I'm trying to go off of what I can dig up based on all my stuff. But if there's somewhere around a 4 grand difference, that's.
Are you talking per employee, or what are you talking?
Between the two different rates. Between 3 1/4, I'm figuring somewhere around $35,000 to $40,000 a year. Now that's for everybody, based off of what 18-ish employees. Not, that discounts us board members. The 32 employees minus us board members and and management. Somewhere around 3.25%, should be around 35, 36, $37,000 a year. We're already budgeting at 2.5%, which is around what, 27, 28, 30,000, $30,000. I see. Anybody have any rebuttal to that? I'm asking. Curious.
Well, we can ask. I said next month he's supposed to have the facts for sure.
So the difference between a 2.5 and a 3.25 is $416 per employee per year. It goes from a 60 cents an hour, 67 cents an hour to 87 cents an hour. That's the difference between a 2.5 and a 3.25. So if you do $416 times
74.88.
Thank you.
That's by 18 employees. If I'm right with the 18 employees.
Plus the pension impact.
74.88. I don't have that.
What?
That I don't have either.
All right, got quiet.
This year we paid, what, $530,000 on a MMO, and that's 4% more. All right? 5.6. I ripped my mask. I can't leave the house.
Okay, what do we do?
They're talking numbers here, Jimmy.
Oh,
Yeah.
We need to know. We need to know the difference in what it's going to cost us on the MMO, the pension obligation, between 3.5 and what? Or what it would be at 3.5. Because we know, or we should have, it's already budgeted at 2.5. So it's 1%, difference of what this contract says versus the one that was, speculated in the past and turned down.
Can you hear me better now?
All right.
can I ask one question?
Welcome back.
Jimmy,
Yes.
did you say that you offered them 3% and you thought they agreed to that, so this is really only changing
No.
0.25 and 0.5?
No, they turned it down. But I'm going to give you some numbers. They turned the 3% down. Here's the numbers. 3.25%. 2019. Utility worker. I have them all figured out here. And I did run the extension too, so everybody knows. A first year employee with the 2 extra years. First 7 to 12 months is $25.92. 13 to 18 months is $27.19. 19 to 24 months. So you're 2 years in, and the new employee's making $28.47. 25 through 30 months, they make $29.76. After 31 months, they make $31.06 an hour, which is the equivalent that an employee makes right now, utility, minus 2 cents, okay? They're making $31.08 right now. Within 3 years, they're at $31.06. Thereafter, they'd go to $32.34. That would be the new rate. Now, at 3.225, it goes to $33.39 a year, which means their starting salary for a utility worker is going to be $69,453.38, which is a raise of $1,093. Year 2 at 3.5, their salary would be $71,884.25, which is an increase of $1,215.43 per year. Year 3, their salary would be, this is a backhoe, I'm sorry. The year 3, the salary is $74,420, which is an increase of $1,257.97. After the 4th year, the backhoe operator's base salary is $77,004.21, which is another increase of $1,300. Utility, it goes to $66,741, which is an increase of $1,050. Year 2, $69,083.50, which is an increase of $1,168. Year 3, $71,501.49, an increase of $1,208. Year 4, $74,004.04, which is an increase of $1,251.28. So over the term of the contract for a utility worker, the increase is going to be $4,700, roughly, with a few pennies.
But we originally agreed that, I don't want to say agreed, we originally offered that we would give them 0.5% less than that.
We
right?
offered them 3% plus, we offered them $6,500 for paying their medical. We offered them that we would keep their 10%, we would change it to 10% on their health care. They agreed on that. They agreed on the past due invoices. They agreed on the $250 a month. They agreed on the heat index, or for the payment. They agreed on the heat index. They agreed that we drop the beepers from 4 to 3 during the winter months. They agreed on the funeral leave. And that's what they agreed on. So that's the base salary.
To the $350.
So here's your employee costs after 2019 with these raises, if anyone's interested. First year, utility worker, the cost is $117,566.62. Second year, $121,351.13. Third year, $125,281.93. Fourth year, $129,364.95. And that's based on 3% increases in workers' comp and miscellaneous. Obviously, it'll be higher now because the pension cost, but MMO is going up approximately $250,000 next year. And as these people retire, and as you increase their wages, that is going to go up more. The office, I didn't even go to the clericals. Starting clericals, the girls in the office right now after this raise, $57,255. Second year, $59,258. Third year, $61,333. Fourth year, $63,479.66. That's not including. So their cost is going to be $103,734, $106,718. 110, 130, 113, 675. Just so everyone has some numbers.
Yeah, as you were rolling through that, I was comparing it against the spreadsheet that you guys presented to us back in June.
And one other thing in this offer, Paul, the 5 days medical, 0 accident following disability. Right now they have to use everything except for 5 PTO and 5 vacation. And that's based on our policy holder, who we have our insurance through. So I guarantee that's going to change, and these costs are going to go up when you're going 0 for 5 days for medical and 0 for accident. Our costs are going to go up there. Those were recommendations, Paul or Tom. I'm sure you know about that in the insurance industry. That was recommended by the policy that we bought.
By the disability carrier.
Correct. Absolutely. So there's quite a bit of inherent cost in here that you have to. I think you should look over. I mean, this is substantial. But it's up to you guys. You do what you want, and I'll budget accordingly. And I can email this sheet to everyone if they would like it.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, are we going to proceed? So we have to wrap up. There was a motion on the table to May. We have to vote one way or the other on that.
Yeah, take a roll call, Lieutenant, please.
Sure. Okay, so this is the motion to table till May. Paul Clary,
No.
Betsy Desmond,
No.
Dave McGill,
Yes.
Tom Pegg,
Yes.
Scott Belts,
No, I'd like to move forward. Yes, sir.
Gary DiLorenzo,
Yes.
Sherry Harris.
No.
All right, the motion fails. We have any?
Now you have the original motion to approve that's what's on the table.
Motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Second it.
Oh,
Well, since you had a black eye so far, I might as well have my other black eye addressed also. I have another point of order to bring up. This is Gary. Bruce,
we need a roll call. Don't
We
we?
know where you're at. We know who you are.
yeah, I'd like to make a point of order observation. Bruce, can you give us an interpretation from a point of order standpoint as a solicitor? Is there any conflict of interest here with the board member having a personal direct benefit to this contract? Basically having a spouse getting a benefit?
No more than Jack Spillman.
I'm not talking about Jack Spillman.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Bruce, can you give us an interpretation on that, please?
Unmute.
I'm acting as a board member right now.
Bruce, unmute.
Bruce, you're mute. You have to unmute, Bruce.
I'm sorry. That's an interesting question. Let me say to you, I don't know whether you remember Diane Allison,
Right?
but Diane Allison was a councilwoman, and her husband was part of the bargaining unit, and she voted for the collective bargaining contract. We researched that question at the time, and there are cases that say as long as she is not separating that individual out and treating them differently, but rather as a class, she can vote ethically. Whether or not you interpret something into that publicly, that's your business. But from a legal standpoint, ethically, she can vote.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
All right. We do a roll call then?
All right, so this is for the roll call
What's the question?
do what? Present this contract?
Yeah.
Okay, Paul Clary,
Yes.
Betsy Desmond,
Yes.
Dave McGill,
No.
Tom Pegg,
No.
Scott Belts,
Yes.
Gary DiLorenzo,
No.
Sherry Harris.
Yes.
Can't hear her.
All right, that ends that.
So is the vote 4-3?
Yep.
Okay, now is that an offer?
That's an offer.
Because I don't know whether the union has to be made aware of that. So
Yeah, what do we do now? How do we get it to them to see if they want it?
I think you contact their labor group and pose it to them. That's what I would do.
Okay. Then we will need to propose this to them.
Okay, what I'd suggest, the easiest way to do this is because we have a mediator. I can contact the mediator and say, this is what we have to propose, and let him take it back and see if they accept it.
That sounds like a plan. Thank you.
It's not the mediator they used before, is it?
Same one. So email me, Paul, what your final document is, and I'll pass it on to the mediator.
Okay.
Next.
That was the last item. Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, how about board member comments, Paul?
Oh, I'm sorry. Board member comments.
Who's first?
I don't know. Who goes first?
I'm so tired I can't think.
Past my bedtime.
Go ahead, Betsy. You go first.
Okay, I'm in Ward 7, so I'm last, but I'll go first. I just thought this was a good meeting. My first time doing it over the video. And I'm looking forward to next month. And Jimmy,
Yeah.
one more thing. Don't forget to ask about that sign on Northern Pike. What
Yeah,
that
I'll
means.
check with Paul.
Okay, thanks. All right, you're next.
Who's six?
Tim, Scott.
I love it. All right. I commend the guys out there working on the water and sewer right now under the conditions that they're under. You know, it's safer, it's better. I think Jimmy's been doing a good job with
I agree.
following all the rules, regulations, and precautions. And reading the safety minutes is nice. That they're following up with this stuff. And it's hard to take it seriously, but now it's gotten to the point where it's unavoidable, and you never know who you're becoming in contact with. That could be a carrier. They're not seeing symptoms, so it's kind of scary in that way. Joe Story's on here. I don't know if he's napping or if he's just staying off the radar. But I'll reach out to him. I'm here. Hey, buddy. I got a question for you about a hydrant by the convention center on Mall Boulevard. They have it covered in black plastic at Mason Drive.
Private.
I haven't got any notifications about it, so I'm curious what the story was.
That's a private
I'll
hydrant.
look into it.
That's
That's what I was just going to say. That's
a
private.
private hydrant.
Private?
It's Oxford.
That would explain it. So, all right, well, I'll follow up and figure out that. But thank you guys for notifying, the dispatch center, because they, they do send those notifications out to all of us as soon as you guys place something out of service. And, it's critical for us to plan around that in the event of an emergency. Like, we don't have any other planning going on right now with everything else. And other than that, I expressed my feelings to a couple people over the last couple of days. These things are tough. You get something given to you on a Friday. Man, me personally, and I speak for everybody, I'm sure. None of us are sitting around with nothing to do, and it's hard to try to process information and come to a Monday meeting.
Right.
With answers. I don't know if there's a possibility of changing that or not, but, I personally hate the process of, trying to, chase my tail. And that's not to say that I can't get answers, but I'm saying it's hard to reach out to everybody and say, what does this mean? What is this about? What is this? Because this contract's an example of that, but so are other things. There's no time to process, digest, or understand certain things, and it's thrown on your lap, and I got to have an answer for you on Monday evening, whether it's over social media or not. So, other than that, like I said, good job. The guys are doing all right. I hope they're staying busy enough. And just stay safe, and please take precautions, because it's all around us. We just aren't aware of that yet.
Who's?
Who's 5?
Oh, that's me.
I was gonna say, that's Paul.
Hey, just everybody be safe out there. That's all I got.
Who's 4?
Con 4. Again, I agree. Everybody stay safe. And that's all I have as comments tonight.
Right.
Hey, this is Gary. Just an observation. You know, we had a virtual meeting tonight. No public input. I'm not even sure there was a public awareness of the agenda items that could participate. They probably had some email opportunities. But from my perspective, I'm disappointed tonight for this reason. A couple reasons. Citizens in Monroeville probably going to be impacted by this. Rents are going to go up. Rents are going to go up to cover these expenses. And I'm disappointed in this board to make a decision on this proposal without understanding the financial impact. Especially the 4 of you that voted for it. Scott, I thought you were saying a comment 2 minutes ago that it's tough to make a decision without having information, but then you decided I didn't have all the information on the financial side, but I'll still support this. That's just an observation.
Well, here's an observation. You called me and had all the answers. How come you had all the answers?
I never said I had all the answers. I asked you to think about what we were talking about.
Right.
Yeah, I heard a lot of phone calls going around there this week, huh?
A lot of people made a lot of calls.
Isn't that
Just hand it in and see what happens. That's all we're asking.
Right.
But that's all we're asking.
It's gone on long enough.
It's a place to start new.
You done, Gary?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, stay healthy, everyone. Have a great week. Have a great month.
See ya.
Gary's signing off.
I'm still here.
No, I said Sherry.
Oh.
He said, have a good see ya.
Here, I just muted myself.
Dave?
Just very important that everybody stay safe and I guess keep your face covered because it's out there. Just like Scott said, it's out there. Stay safe. Some of us are still out there. So. But other than that, have a great night, everybody.
You also. Okay, do I get a turn? Yeah. To save your call, Mr. Hunter, I called Paul Ugis. The signs on Northern Pike is stating that they are in complying with the coronavirus regulations.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Betsy, did you hear that? I did. So, as we know, that work is for the slide on 48. Also, there was core boring that was completed on Old Ramsey to move forward with some cost estimates to fix that road. And there's going to be some new work to fix the creek along Forbes Road. Begin sometime this spring or summer due to the collapse there on the creek side. And based on some of your comments, a discussion that I had with Mr. Hunter is that maybe, as we did on council and do on council, as contract negotiations are going back and forth, the board is updated as to what is happening. That way you are not hit with everything all at once. And so maybe that would help you guys all out in the future. Other than that, stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. That's all I have. Bye.
All right, did we get everybody?
We did.
All right, can we get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, Paul.
Second. I'm sorry, go ahead. Betsy seconded it?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right, good night, everybody.
Good night. Night.
Night.
Thanks for using WebEx. Visit our website.